Most dry as shit. Smells weird. This is a crime. Oh my God, that looks ridiculous. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm gonna be testing out some viral recipes so that you don't have to, and we're gonna see if they're actually any good or are they just a big waste of your time. I'm gonna be ranking each recipe today in 4 parts. Number 1 is gonna be taste. Does it actually taste good or does it just taste like protein powder? Number 2, texture. Is it soft and moist or are we chewing sawdust? Number 3, ease of making. We're all about simplicity here. I don't want anything that's gonna take a whole bunch of ingredients or that's gonna take forever to cook and make a big mess. And number 4, are they worth the macros? We don't wanna be wasting calories on foods that suck. And at the end, I'm gonna be ranking them all from best to worst, so stick around to see which one is actually worth making. If you don't know me yet, my name is Des, the founder of Conquer Her Fitness, an online fitness coach, and my passion is helping women build their dream physiques by building healthy and sustainable habits that last a lifetime. If you'd like to work with me, I have a client application form down in the description below, and I would love to work with you to help you achieve your goals. Let's get started. Okay, the first recipe we're gonna be testing today is the viral cloud bread. I've been seeing this everywhere and I've been so curious to try it. The texture looks amazing, so let's actually see if it tastes as good as it looks. So first order of business is to whip up these egg whites, mix the cornstarch in, and make it as fluffy and beautiful as we possibly can. You can tell I don't use this very often. I feel like my hair needs to go up. Okay, so apparently the recipe only calls for half a cup of egg whites and a tablespoon of cornstarch. You know when it seems like it's too good to be true, and it usually is? It's kind of where my mind is going with this one, but we're gonna keep an open mind, positive. Okay, so I am just gonna put this in here and see what we get. This is what we've got going on so far. I'm gonna add that tablespoon of cornstarch. Probably should have sprinkled that a little bit. I'm not a professional. I don't want to over mix it, so I'm gonna stop here. I'm just gonna cover my pan with some wax paper. Excuse this, I've had it for like my entire life, basically. Okay, we're gonna keep it a little messy like this. We don't want it to be too perfect because we want to keep it nice and fluffy. I'm gonna stick this in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so the timer for the oven went off. It's almost there, like it's so close. We're gonna put it back in for another couple minutes. This is Livy. You guys saw her in the last video. She's a little bit of a grump. Definitely looking a little bit better. Smells weird. It just smells like eggs. Interesting. Okay. Wow, super fluffy. Actually pretty good. It's pretty plain, so I should definitely add some seasoning next time, like some salt, maybe even a little bit of stevia, Splenda, just to give it a little bit of something, but I can see why this is so popular. Okay, time to give it a rating. Number 1, taste. I'm gonna give this a solid 7 out of 10, and there's definitely room for growth. If I'm adding more seasonings, it would definitely improve the taste. It could easily be a 9 out of 10 for me. Number 2, for texture, I'm giving this a 10 out of 10. It is moist, it is fluffy, it is exactly what it looks like. Number 3, ease of making, 10 out of 10. Doesn't get much easier than that. You need 2 ingredients. And the last one, the macros. Are they worth it? I would say yes. If you're gonna be pairing this with a high fat food like avocado, eggs, smoked salmon, then I think that this could keep you full for a really long time. This is definitely worth spending your calories on. And the final verdict, would I make this again? I think you can probably guess yes. We're gonna be making Cocoa Puffs with chickpeas. I'm a little nervous. We're gonna give it a shot. The instructions were pretty vague, so we're just gonna drain a can of chickpeas, add some chocolate, add some cocoa, and see what happens. Okay, we're just gonna pat these chickpeas dry. It says 25 minutes, but we're gonna do 30 just to be safe. Let's go. And once again, there was no actual instructions on this video, so I'm just gonna take some chocolate, pour it over, and add some cocoa. I'm really scared, and also I'm scared that this might like destroy my digestive system. Maybe I should have done more chocolate. Oh, actually no, it seems to be mixing okay. Oh my God, why does that look like Cocoa Puffs though? Yikes. This is one way to trick your kids. Okay, maybe it doesn't look as good on camera as it does in person. She added milk to this to really give it that cereal feel. So we're going all in here. I'm gonna add some cashew milk and let's see how it goes. Oh my God. Ah! I can't believe I'm actually doing this right now. I feel like I'm eating a science experiment. Not bad. I don't even know what's happening in my mouth right now. This is an experience. I'm speechless. Why do I keep eating it though? Okay, I think I'm ready to give my final thoughts. Number one, taste. I think I'm gonna give this a 5. It's not amazing. The only thing that makes it is the chocolate for sure. So I feel like if you added more chocolate, it would just make it taste even better. Number two, texture. I'm actually gonna give this one an 8 because the crunch is 100% there. The texture of it is really good. Number three, ease of making. I'm gonna give this a 9. It's super easy to make. You just need a can of chickpeas, some chocolate, and some cocoa powder. It's not a lot of cleanup, pretty straightforward. And for the macros, I feel like you could find something a lot better for the same calories that would be a lot more satisfying. I'm not really leaving this meal thinking I want to make it again. So my final thoughts, would I make this again? My answer is gonna be no. I don't ever need to make this again. I'll just have Cocoa Puffs, honestly. We're gonna get our third recipe set up, and that's gonna be the viral cottage cheese wrap. I'm so excited to try this. If you love pizza, I also have a high protein pizza recipe on my Instagram, and I'll link it in the description down below, and it is bomb. So for this recipe, we're gonna be putting 1 cup of cottage cheese going in and 1/2 cup of egg whites in a blender. We're gonna put it in the oven at 350 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes. I'm gonna be adding some Celtic sea salt and some Italian seasoning. Okay, I was worried it was gonna be too liquidy, but this texture actually looks pretty decent. Looking good. Pop it in the oven.
A few moments later.
What the hell happened? Our cottage cheese wrap, it's looking pretty jacked up. Nobody said I needed to flip it. We're still gonna make it work. I'm just gonna organize the fillings on this side of the wrap and we'll see what happens. I'm gonna use some Laughing Cow. Dijon. It doesn't look horrible. Let's see how it wraps up. Wrappability, not horrible. Oh my God, that looks ridiculous. We'll see how it tastes. Oh my God. I think I'm gonna cut it in half so I don't have to chew through one of those end pieces. Here is what it's looking like. Here we go. This tastes like health, if you know what I mean. It's not bad, but I feel like it's missing something. It's getting better the more I eat it. It's kind of growing on me a little bit. I think I'm ready for my final thoughts. For taste, I'm gonna give this one a 4. It wasn't that great. Number two, it's totally my fault that I overcooked it, but I still think the texture was okay. I'm gonna give it a solid 8 for texture. Ease of making, I'm gonna give this one a 6. And that's because the ingredients themselves were really simple, but it took forever to make. I could have probably had it in the oven for 35 minutes instead of 40, but still, that's a pretty decent amount of time, I think. And is it worth the macros? I feel like this is a hard one. I'm right in the middle for this one. I'm gonna say yes and no. If you can't get it to a grocery store, I think that yes, this is worth the macros, but if you can, there's much better options. Final verdict, would I make this again? Maybe. Overall, the texture is pretty good. It wasn't horrible. Just needs a little bit less time in the oven. Okay, so it looks like we've saved the easiest one for last. So we've got 1 egg, Greek yogurt, and for my protein powder, of course, I'm gonna be using the Rise Cosmic Brownie because what other flavor would we even use for this? This is just perfect. For sweetener of choice, I've got 2 packs of Splenda, 1/4 cup of Greek yogurt, and 1 scoop of that one. Oh, oops. We also need cocoa powder, 3 tablespoons. Okay, we're gonna mix this up. Okay, we've got our protein brownie all ready to go. So I'm just gonna stick this in the microwave for 90 seconds. It's the moment of truth. Ooh, this looks really good. It's a little bit on the gooier side in the middle, but I think I'm actually gonna prefer it like that anyways. Look at that. Looks good. Should I eat this with a spoon or with a fork? If you're still watching this video, first of all, thank you so much. And secondly, answer in the comments down below if you had to choose between either eating with only a spoon or only a fork for the rest of your life, what one would you choose and why? I think I'd have to go with a fork just because I eat a lot of salads and I don't think that would work very well with a spoon. But let me know what you think. Let's dive in. It's actually kind of hot. This is what it's looking like. Oh my gosh. It is steaming. No, absolutely not. This is a crime. Oh my God, that is so dry. I'm gonna need like a gallon of water after this. Whew. Let's try the middle because the middle has a little bit more moisture. That's a little bit better. Final verdicts. Number one, taste. For the actual flavor itself, never mind the texture, I'm gonna give this a 6. It's not amazing, but it's also not horrible. The Rise protein powder is definitely carrying this though, for sure. Number 2, texture. Yeah, this is getting a 2 for sure. Dry as Number 3, ease of baking. I would give it a solid 7. It did take a little bit more ingredients than our other recipes today, but that being said, pretty easy. Actually, let's give it an 8. Is it worth the macros? I'm gonna say no, because there's a million other recipes you could do with this protein powder egg situation. You could make protein pancakes that are definitely more moist than this. If you check out my Instagram, I have a whole whack of recipes using protein powder that are not this dry. So you can do better. Final verdict, would I make this again? No. All right, it's time for the moment of truth, our final rankings. Which recipe is making it into my meal prep and which one is getting permanently banned from my kitchen? First place goes to the cloud bread. This was so fluffy. It was like eating a marshmallow. I will 100% be making this again. Second place was the cottage cheese wrap. It's high protein, it's solid, but it definitely needs a little bit of improvement. Third place goes to the chickpea cereal. It wasn't terrible, but it also wasn't not terrible. If you love the thrill of bloating, this one is for you. Dead last is the brownie. This one was so bad, it felt personal. Straight to jail. All right, you guys, that brings us to the end of the video. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you learned something from today, and maybe I saved you a little bit of time from trying some of these viral recipes that didn't end up working out too well. So if you have any ideas for future videos, please let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what your favorite part was, and thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, bye.